Hi everybody, it's Dr. Steve Lamazo again. I've been asked by some people who I sent the original video of my United We Stand collection to add on to it a little bit by explaining some of the magazines in greater detail. So I'm going to take a shot at it here with my handheld iPad. This is my upstairs United We Stand room, complete with my sofa, and I'll try to pan slowly so that I don't miss anything for you. Anyway, here's a poster that I original from 1942 about which I obviously had patriotic content. This is a little spinner which I bought to show off comics. You'll note that Doc Savage is this is a Street and Smith publication from July of 1942. Street and Smith published many different pulps, and there's probably about 8 or so of there which have the same flag image. Here's one of the comic books, Ace. Here's Magic Comics, all July 42, and these are not particularly expensive. But here's one that is expensive. Was recently bought this. You can see the flag in the upper right-hand corner, called Star Spangled. Nice example. Not high grade, but perfect for what I need. Often one of the pulps magazines just had a flag in the lower left-hand corner. There's probably almost 24 of these different titles. On the lower left, you'll see the flag, and that's what makes it interesting to collectors. Here's another example. Whoops, that's the wrong one. Here we go. There's the flag in the middle of the right. This is Thrilling Detective. I just got Thrilling Wonder Stories, and they're all pretty much the same publisher, same flag. The magazines are considerably more interesting. This one is highly coveted by the Clausen collection. They don't have it yet. They will eventually, but we're working out some arrangements to get it to them. Published in Alabama, probably the only one in existence, or pretty close to it, considering that they've been collecting for 10 years, 12 years, and haven't seen one. As I said, magazines were published often 42 and then 43 again for the less robust program. Here's the 42 program. Click magazine, August. Click was a look clone. Didn't last that long. Probably till about 48. Here's the 1943 with just a simple flag. Here's Pick magazine, which is another Street and Smith publication. Also a look life clone. Much more interesting. Obviously, you'll see that's the same cover as some of the pulps. This one is more interesting. It's modeled after Rosie the Riveter, who was, I guess, made most famous by Norman Rockwell's Saturday Evening Post cover. Much more interesting than the other one. Then we get to Life, published in the tens of millions. Common, but obviously pretty. Look, same story, and same as the Saturday Evening Post, which is very common, published in the tens of millions. It takes us down to the news magazines, which I find quite interesting. The first one here is Pathfinder. I wasn't even aware of this title until I started collecting United We Stand. They hold themselves out as being the longest running weekly news magazine, and I tend to believe it. It's also obviously the rarest of the bunch. Here's Time, Newsweek, and one of my favorites, United States News. Fairly scarce. United States News, it began as a newspaper in 1939, then became a magazine, then merged with World Report in 1948 to become United States News and World Report. The New Yorkers are great. This is 1943. Nope, no, it's 1942. I think New Yorker is the greatest magazine ever published, just from the standpoint of its literary content, cartoons, and it's still going strong despite the death of many magazines. This one is actually my girlfriend's favorite. It's and one of mine. This is the 1943 New Yorker, and it's really wonderful because it actually shows people united in and standing with red, white, and blue. Cosmopolitan, not particularly exciting. This one is very rare. It's made by, was issued by a drug company. American Magazine, pretty self-explanatory. Here's some architectural magazines: Architectural Forum, Architectural Record. Probably my favorite movie magazine of all. This is Veronica Lake on Screenland. Obviously, it's United We Stand. We saw this one before. This is the two little boys holding up the flag on the Magic magazine from '43. Here's a sort of a semi-comic called Calling All Girls. Not particularly rare. Some children's magazines. This is the '42. This is the '43 Child Life. And of course some of the comics. Again, just a flag in the lower right hand corner on this one. Superman is lovely. And then True Comics, very inexpensive. You can buy it for $10, but it has a flag. Porky Pig, Looney Tunes, some more comics. This is '42. These are '43. A lovely cover of Captain Marvel Jr. in '43, Captain Marvel Adventures, Captain Midnight. Of course, Walt Disney's Comics and Stories. You can't have a collection without Donald Duck. The one behind it is actually not on United We Stand, but I liked it because he's holding up a defense stamp. Another relatively rare comic called Whiz Comics. I don't know how long this video is going to last, so I'm going to stop right now and add a second one later, or shortly. Thanks. See you soon.